Hi, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Say hello
Ooh,
if you guys are tuning in with us and let us know you're here. If you're following us over on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, we want to know that you're here with us.
yes, you guys, welcome in. If you are new to me or Sarah or Divine Femme, welcome in. We're so pumped to have you guys. We love having this family grow. Yes, Bangladesh, incredible. Global, my girl. We global. This is so fun. So fun. I also love too how it's always like switch. We're back to freaking, I'm in the Midwest. We're back to, it's supposed to be like freezing tomorrow and then 70 the next day. So
Mm.
crazy. But yes, you guys, welcome in. So happy to have you here for this side of the world as well, and this part of the internet. Welcome to Divine Femme, to myself, to Sarah. We are all about leading leaders, right? Divine leaders with, hi, beautiful, with huge missions on their hearts, and really this whole fun, flow, freedom aspect, doing business in this new kind of paradigm way, speaking your truth, speaking your heart, making a massive impact in the world, having it be a hell of a lot easier than business has been before. So we are all about that and really working with spiritual laws in a very unique, magical way to add a new twist to your business. So please DM ABCs or check the link in our bio for our free exclusive masterclass for light leaders, for visionaries, for, yes, thank you. We see you over here. Add me. Go, it's in the bio link, hon. And anyone really having a huge call in their heart to make a difference, to speak their truth. This gets us so lit because Sarah and I both were people that hid that for so long. And when you have this spiritual awakening, you have a massive impact, you have a massive mission you have to do. You need the structure, you need the people that have gone through and done it before to guide you, which is what we're so honored to do. So welcome into us and our teachings and our energy. And we are super, super happy to have you guys. And this topic today is going to be so fun. So Sarah and I were talking, and we've talked about this topic before, this whole idea. Yes, please say hi if you're tuning in live. You guys, this whole idea where, especially with spiritual entrepreneurs, we work with spiritual entrepreneurs. And a lot of times, and like, again, myself included, they can be massively empathic, right? Big hearts, heart centered. We care so much, we feel deeply. And with that, the whole receiving aspect can be an issue that is kind of suppressed, where we want to give. And the issue of just receiving just because we can and not having to justify that is everything. And I want to share a quick story. I was telling Sarah, and she has a couple ones too. And this can be simple. Let's take away business for one hot second. Women, we are both here. If you're with us in the call and you're a woman, if you watch us, and Sarah and I are women, and I will raise my hand, you guys. I used to be the woman, the girl who, with compliments. What do we do as women? You hand them out. Someone says, "Hey, I love that outfit, Vanessa." I used to always disregard, not even receive, like, "Hey, thank you." I would justify or divert it instantly, like to give something back, or to be like, "Oh my God, I love your hair." Or I got this, at a sale, and like justify why I was wearing a nice new shirt instead of just like being like, "Hey, thank you so much," and receiving that. And that happened the other day, guys, and it's so fun to share this. It happened the other day where someone gave me a compliment, a very nice compliment. And I took it in with a big smile and I said, "Thank you. I know I am." Not boasting, not ego, not trying to impress, but just owning my sacred confidence. And you know what happened? It was so cool. She not only like paused for a hot second, but I like lit her up. Me not dimming my lights actually gave her
Mm.
light to have her remember her confidence and have her remember that she is safe to receive as well. And this whole aspect of the feminine energy receiving is all part of this beautiful world that we're into, and especially with spiritual entrepreneurs. And if you are a leader, isn't it part of our role to be bold, to receive without justifying why we want something, why we want to be in our fullest expression, but just to have it, to be it, to do it because we are leaders and we give permission to other people to do that in a world that one needs it, but can all do that. Think of how massively powerful in a good way and impactful that can be when we step into our divine feminine energy to receive as a leader,
Mhm.
as a leader.
I love this. And then the fact that you lit her up when you actually owned the compliment. This is so, so key. And I can say that I've done this as well. Like, if someone would compliment, let's say, a dress I was wearing or something like that, and I immediately diverted, like, oh, I got this on sale or something like that. Come up with some justification and full, instead of just fully owning that I looked amazing in that dress. And it was, you know what I mean? Like having to discount or justify or push away or dim our light or our brilliance or our beauty or our power or our prosperity or our wellness, you know, like this is something that came up just recently for me as well, because I've been having a little bit of digestion issues. I have some food sensitivities, and I was having a candid open talk with this practitioner, and she's like, you know, sometimes we can create these things, these stories where, you know, we're not optimally in our wellness, because oftentimes we can carry so much guilt when you look around and you see other people that are not well, or other people that aren't doing so well in their body. It's almost, you used the word guilt before, right? It's almost like we can feel guilty that it, you know, oh, well, who am I to be this well if other people are struggling or not feeling well or hurting? And we do the same thing with wealth or money or our power. And and we were having this conversation. She's like, I'm just optimally well, like all the time. Like, I just feel amazing all the time. There's no reason for me to have like, I don't have any issues. There's no reason to have an issue because I just feel amazingly well.
And you know what, Paz, this is so fun real quickly. In that moment, just like the girl that complimented me, in that moment, I fully believe like your subconscious, you paused what you were feeling, the guilt maybe you were feeling for a hot minute. And it's almost like you lean into, like, that's a leader. You lean into what she was owning. And again, not in the ego or boasting way, but like in knowing who the fuck you are. Like sacral confidence, the divine source you come from. I love that, Sarah. That was so good. Sorry, you lit me up, girl.
No, it's okay. So, but I forget where I was.
You're talking about like how she just said, like I like she owned, like I love was we just did this amazing version, you guys, on like she owns a place. Like she owned and declared, hey, I'm always well. And once you start to not only say that, you guys know I'm a big girl on like power of your word, but you get that in your divine expectancy. You divinely expect to start to have those things. And then what happens? You start to create that. And then again, we get to be a ripple effect for people like Sarah, that for that split second when that lady was saying that to you, whether you knew it or not, I full on believe, because we're all connected, you guys, like you were tapped into her energy. Like it's like your heartstrings. I love Avatar. We're connected for a hot minute in that truth and the focus of wellness, Ooh, that's
so I want you to think about, like, in certain areas, this can be happening in all different areas of your life. Specifically, we're going to spin it towards business, right? When we had a client, someone that's not a client that's looking to be a client, reference that one of her struggles was, you know, fully stepping into her next level of financial prosperity and fully stepping into her power, and what that would look like, how people were going to perceive her if she was fully spiritual and rich and abundant and prosperous and things like that. We make up all of these stories, and then we assign all this meaning to things as far as like what it means to be spiritual. I hear this all the time. It makes me laugh. Where people are like, you know, oh, that we have, you know, like have this different perception of like what it means to be spiritual. Apparently, I guess it's popular that some people think that being woke and broke are simultaneous. You know, like that they're like you can't be abundant and be spiritual at the same time. You know, so it's like we have these stories and we have these meanings attached to what it means if we're like too much of this or too much of that, or abundant or prosperous or extra or well, you know. And so two things kick in. It's either usually guilt, like even if it's an unconscious guilt that kicks in, or an incessant need to fit in and get approval, one of the two or a combination of both, that will keep us not shining that brightly, just dimming ourselves just a little bit more so we don't stick out too much, just, you know, dumbing down our compliment a little bit, or dumbing down, like discounting our beauty or discounting our physical, you know, wellness, or like whatever it is, to make it more acceptable and digestible for other people to be around us and not feel small in our presence. But here's the thing, this is key, especially as a leader, because as you step into a leader and your job is to fully own your most authentic expression, right? And if you're trying to play small so other people don't feel small around you, then what are you a leader of? What are you shining? What is the light of your example that you are shining, right? And so in essence, everybody loses in that scenario when you dim your light just to fit in. Now, you're not the example that they can see in themselves that they can rise up to, because that's what's really happening, right? We're reflecting back to each other. If you're not willing to fully stand in your power, your wealth, your wellness, your beauty, your strength, your courage, and all of these things, they are not able to see it in you and reflect that back to them, right? And so this is why it was so key and so subtle when Vanessa said that she lit that other girl up by fully owning her compliment. Had Vanessa in that moment chose to play small, that exchange would not have happened. She wouldn't have been able to see the unapologetic, guiltless confidence and abundance that was just pure authenticity coming from Vanessa. She wouldn't have been able to see that in Vanessa, which is reflection for herself. So if we are walking around mere reflections of each other, which we are, because we all come from source, we are one, you are me, we are each other. Like this is the magic. This is behind, if you want to just bring this to the most macro level and just get, you know, and just really work with spiritual laws, the spiritual law of one. What does that say? It says that we are connected, we are one. And so when you dim your light and you deliberately play small or hide your brilliance or dim yourself in any way, no matter what that area looks like that you may be doing that in, you're not only, it's a lose-lose situation for everybody, because you're not shining in your brilliance and now they're not able to see that reflection for themselves, which is part of what being a leader is all about. So I know this is a connection that you can make in your life in some area. Where are you rejecting? Where are you deflecting? It often comes in the form of a justification or some kind of an excuse where you can skirt by. As simple as something as a compliment, right? It can be as simple as a compliment. Or where are you hiding from enrolling soulmate clients into your business because you are not comfortable actually being an example of abundance and wealth and spirituality all at the same time? We see that as well. There's so many different ways and that this can be playing out into your experience. And it's important to take the time to self-reflect on these little exchanges that you have with people in the real world. It can be very subtle, and reflect on this, like, oh, this is why am I doing that? Why am I dimming my light? Why am I making myself, you know, smaller in order to fit in so other people don't feel small around me? Because as a leader, you're here to play a big game. You're here to fully own your gift and your magic and your authentic expression, your abundance and your divine sovereignty and everything that comes along with that. And guess what? It will make people that are not, it will make people uncomfortable. People will look at you and get uncomfortable because of your unwavering abundance or prosperity or wellness in your life. And they will make up stories as to how or why you were able to achieve. Like, there's going to be so many facets of you expanding that will trigger people. And that's part of the process, right? Triggering people is not something that you can try to avoid. I mean, if you're, especially whether it's conscious or unconscious, many times it's unconscious, but triggering is part of the process. If you trigger someone because you are fully owning your brilliance or strength or courage or beauty or wealth or whatever it happens to be in this scenario, that's okay. That's part of the process. Can you be okay with people not being okay with you? Can you be okay with triggering people? Because the right person that's meant to cross your path, that's meant to see your beauty, that and meant to see it as a reflection, even if that's not consciously what they're doing, like the person that crossed Vanessa's path at the beginning, the right person that's meant to cross your path will cross your path, or listen to your podcast episode, or watch your videos, or cross your path at the grocery store. Who knows? The right person will, and there will always be other naysayers or people on the outside of that energetic bubble, that energetic ownership, where you trigger the shit out of them. And that's okay too. And maybe that was the only thing that was supposed to happen as far as your exchange with them, was that you were supposed to cross their path and trigger them for one hot minute so that they could go on and do whatever their soul had planned for them, right? And so that's, without going down a rabbit hole, that's about it. And I think I have a little connection issue. I'm not sure. I think I just popped off of Instagram.
You know, it's so funny, girl. Like, same thing. know what happened. I think we're still on live over on this part of the internet. So thank you guys so much for being with us. That was so good, girl. And can you hear me? Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just sent you another request on Instagram in case you wanted to pull me back up.
Well, no, mine cut out too. How bizarre. But you know what? It just shows that we keep on going through. I don't know what happened there.
Well, we're streaming on multiple platforms. So Instagram is going to have whatever Instagram had. So hopefully someone got some magic over there on Instagram.
It was so mad. I hope they heard the story. But you know what, girl, just to beautifully kind of round this out, I love that we always hold each other accountable. And asking ourselves, you know, those that have listened and have been with us, what would your life look like if you brought in
Where
the
are you rejecting? Where are you?
Sorry.
I'm here.
I'm here. I'm just requesting. You're still live on Instagram, and I just requested to join again. Is all I'm saying.
Wait, what am I doing? This is so weird. What am I doing on Instagram? I'm not like Instagram. I'm logged out of.
Well, it said you were live still. So, anyways,
what is this world right now? I'm kind of tripping out. Like.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll just stay focused over here with you guys on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. So we're gonna wrap this up here right about now, anyway. But what were you saying, Vanessa? What was that last piece before we?
I was just saying, like, you know, Sarah and I love in Divine Femme and our Sacred Leader Academy, really holding ourselves accountable to our power and asking big, bold questions. So right now I love sharing and asking you guys, like, what would your life look like if you brought in the energy of total receptivity without justification? Total receptivity without justification. Total receptivity. I'm getting like warm tingles all over. Without guilt. You want something, you want to be your fullest expression because you want to be it, because that feels effing good, because that feels like how you should be, and that's okay. You want it because you want it. You want to have a thriving spiritual business and have financial security because you want financial security. And yes, of course, you know, we work with good people. Like, you're a good person watching. Like, yes, I have charities that we give to, and there's great things to do with money, but also we can want success because we just want it, and receiving that like it came to you for a reason, and thinking about what a beautiful world it could be if people stepped into that energy of just receptivity without justification, receptivity without the guilt, receiving part of who you are. It's part of the masculine, feminine energy, receiving, because it's like this ebb and flow. You receive and you give out, and you receive and you give out. It's this ebb and flow, and that's just part of cycles of life, and receiving is a big part of it. And I want to do one last thing. I always like to check myself and just, you know, reverting back to my story, like, yeah, it took work. If you are someone, if you're a woman right now that used to divert the compliments, you know, for anything, that's okay, right? Forgive yourself, and then just try. Even today, if you have yet to do this, go out today, receive a compliment, receive it without giving back, and see how that feels. Like, where does that sit? Where does that land in your body? And can you smile afterwards? Can you breathe in and open up that space? You know, reprogram your cells and your brains that you are now a receiver and that you're safe to receive, and see what that does for you, and see how that lights up the people around you. Yeah, go ahead, girl.
Well, that's so perfect, because if, you know, and you're like, oh, how do I get a compliment so I can do this? Well, just call it in. Just ask Spirit to show you where you're at with your comfort level of receiving. And then just go about your day. Ask Infinite Spirit, ask Source Energy to reflect back to you your level of receiving. And then forget about it and go about your day, but operate with awareness throughout the day, because you're going to receive instances and communications or circumstances that pop up where you will be presented with opportunities to receive, and you're going to be able to feel with awareness now, the initial resistance that comes up, or that need to deflect or justify it away, and recognize that if you're doing it there, it's the same with money, it's the same with love, it's the same with everything. It's just a metaphor for the other areas of your life. So if this is happening and you're like, well, how does this work with my spiritual business? Listen, if you're closed off in receiving the goodness of all that is, if you're closed off to receiving the goodness of all that is, the abundance that naturally flows, this is going to be reflected in your sales and with your clients and with your relationships and all the things. So whether it's in a relationship that this exchange happens, or it happens with a stranger on the street that tries to give you a compliment, who cares? The universe is going to line up for you based on this conversation and you tuning in right now, because it's not an accident. And you can call it in. Ask for the signs, ask for the synchronicity, ask for spirit to show you your level of comfort with receiving, and then go about your day and watch what happens with awareness. And don't let it slip through the cracks this time. Don't let it slip through the cracks of your of awareness. Allow yourself to be fully present with your day so that you can become, you know, aware of these things, because those little clicks into alignment, those little clicks, that they're just a little click right there. That
Even
ownership, yeah.
Yes.
Just that little ownership piece right there. It's so subtle. With a stranger at the grocery store, it doesn't matter. It clicks you into full ownership of the abundance and prosperity of all that is flowing to you right now. And it is essentially who you are. You're a part of all of this. And so that little click, it seems insignificant, but makes big changes in your life.
It does. I want to give a shout out to, look at, we just had Brown, beautiful Brown. Yesterday I received a compliment and caught myself almost deflecting. Yes, girl. Yes, queen. But then I took a breath and fully said, thank you. And I would love to know, how did you feel celebrating? Where's our celebration glass? Celebrating you, queen. And then how did you feel? One, how did you feel after that happened? And two, double time, how do you feel now? Just, again, bringing this up and the awareness of how powerful you are. I love that, Brown. Cindy, we love you. Oh my God, lol, how funny. I don't even know if I'm still on Instagram, if I'm still here. I
don't know if you are, but we got you guys are, if this resonates with you and you are fully ready to step into your full ownership, your authentic expression, fully unapologetically, not only creating the business that you love, but also the life you love as a result. Check out our free masterclass, the ABCs to 5-figure sales. It's a free masterclass. You can check that out in the link in our bio on Instagram, or in the show notes if you're listening to this on the podcast, or above or below this video, wherever you happen to be watching it. That's the next step. Watch the masterclass. If the masterclass resonates with you, then you will have the opportunity to hop on a call with our team and take an impact assessment. The impact assessment helps you close the gaps in your business. You're going to be able to identify 100% with where the gaps are, so you can close those gaps in order to create a sustainable, profitable, you know, business for yourself. And you can take that information and run with it. The calls are completely complimentary. Or if you decide you want to fast track your results, then you can learn from our team the next steps to work with us inside Sacred Leader Academy. So I think that's about all for today, you guys. We're going to be here next every week, Wednesday and Friday at 10 a.m. So if this is the first time you're tuning in, hit the little bell notification. If you're on YouTube, follow us, get notified on LinkedIn. Wherever you're watching this, there's a way to turn on notifications to make sure you know the next time we're live. But it is Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we will be seeing you again on Friday. Hope you're with us. And if you're watching this on the replay, leave your questions or comments, because we still watch the replays.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Great work, queens, legends. Have a beautiful, epic Wednesday. See you soon, guys.